All right, guys, welcome back for another lesson. Today we are going to be doing lesson 2.4, where we are dividing using area model. And so we've talked about this in class about how area model for division is the opposite of how we used it for multiplication. And so an example that you might see, if I'm trying to find the area or the inside of a model, and we were given something like this, and I have two of the side lengths, and I'm trying to find the inside of this. To find the inside, I would just multiply 8 times 4, which is 32. And so then therefore, I could find the area of this model by just multiplying the two outside numbers to get the inside area. Okay? Now what I did is I related this to how we use this for division. And so instead of using it as division, sometimes we might be given the inside, and let's just give a different example. Let's go with 24. And so if I know the area is 24 and I know one of the side lengths is 6, well, I could take this and think about this either as multiplication, so 6 times what will get me to 24, or I could think about this as division. And so my division problem that I could write would be maybe 24 divided by 6 equals 4. And so again, just a different way of thinking about this. And now obviously these problems here is something that we probably have stored up in our brain as facts. And we call this fact fluency. This is also problems that we could probably find the answers to using a multiplication chart. And so what we're doing today is going to be looking at harder problems because they're just bigger numbers. And so we're going to use this as a model to show us that we can break down these numbers into more manageable ideas. So maybe what we have here is a problem such as 432 divided by 18. And so obviously this is not a problem that we have stored up in our brain where we can find the answer just by looking at, oh, well, 432 would go in here. 18 would go up here. So then I need to obviously think, oh, let me go ahead and erase this. I need to think 18 times what equals 432. Now I'll tell you, I don't have that answer stored myself. So we have to think, how can we solve this in a way that makes sense for us? And this is how we would do it. So I'm going to write 432 up in the top left corner of this rectangle because I'm going to break this down into numbers that make sense for me. Okay, I always want to start groups of 10, groups of 100, groups of 1,000, groups of 10,000, and I use those numbers because those numbers are easy to multiply. So I'm going to first think groups of 10. If I did 18 times 10, that would give me 180. Do I have at least 180 here to start with? Yes. I'm going to then try groups of 100, meaning I'm going to take 18 times 100. 18 times 100 is 1,800. Do I have at least 1,800 to start with? No. So I need to stay with my groups of 10. That's the largest number that I can use that makes it easy for me to solve. So then I would go ahead and do 18 times 10, which is 180. I'm going to subtract the 180 that I'm using for here. 10 times 18 is 180. And then I'll subtract. I have 2. Can't do. So I'll borrow and regroup. 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. And 3 minus 1 is 2. I have 252 left over. So I'm going to take that 252 and I'm going to put it into the next box. I'm going to do the same thing. Groups of 10, groups of 100, groups of 1,000. So I have 18, trying to figure out how many 18s can go into 252. If I tried 10, I would get, again, another 180. 252 minus 180. 2 minus 0 is 2. 5 minus 8, can't do. Borrow and regroup. 15 minus 8 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0, so I have 72 left over. I need to extend my box a little bit more. So I have 72. I have 72 left over. I'm trying to figure out, well, how many times does 18 go into 72? This is where I would use my estimating and adjusting, just like how we did in previous lessons. Okay, 18 is close to 20. I'm going to write this up here. This is my side work. Okay, I'm thinking about how many groups of 20 would go into about 70. So, or 72, I'm sorry. And so then I need to think about a multiple of 2 that's really close to 72. Well, because I took this 18 to a 20, maybe it went up. I want to think about the next multiple of 20 next to 72, but going up, which would be 80. So 80 divided by 20 equals 4. I'm going to test that. I'm going to see if 4 is a good answer. 18 times 4, off to the side. I'm hoping to land to 72. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7, and there it is. That is my answer. So I have 4 more groups of 18, which we said is equal to 72. And I have 0 left over, or 0 remainder, and then therefore I would just add up this whole entire line. This is my whole quotient made up from partial quotients. I have a 10 plus 10 more plus 4 more, so it was 24 as my answer. Okay. So that's how we would use use area model to solve for a long division problem. Okay. All right, so this was one style of problem that you'll see on your homework, but another one that you will see, and I will give you your example. Let me have a minute to kind of set our problem up. So I have some boxes. I will put 480 in this one, 480 in this one, and 432 in this one. And then on the outside, we don't know what this number is. But we do know it came from 10 groups, 10 more groups, and 9 groups. What I am going to do is I'm going to try to find my dividend, my divisor, and my quotient. Okay? Dividend is the whole number that I started with. What would have been up in this top corner here? What was that first number that we started with that got me to 10 groups of what, 10 more groups of that same number, and 9 more groups of that number? So we would look at it like this. Well, 10 times what equals 480? Well, I know anything times 10 is just that number with a 0 at it. So I know this has got to be 48, because 48 times 10 is 480. 48 times 10 is 480. And then that means it has to be 48 times 9 equals 432. So I figured out this. That's my divisor. I could actually just plug that in. That's my divisor. My quotient, which is already given, was 10 plus 10 plus 9, which is 39. But I still don't know what this is. This is my dividend, and where that comes from is all these numbers added up together. So I would have 480 plus 480 plus 432. 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 3 more is 19. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. And 9 plus 4 more is 13. So my dividend must have been 1,392. And if I would solve this, 1,392 divided by 48, I would get an answer of 39. Hopefully that helps. Please send me a message if you guys still need some support. Enjoy your extra day off tomorrow, election day. Tell your parents to go vote. I appreciate you all. See you on Wednesday.